Drivers sometimes get fired when they refuse to go on the road because bad weather has created hazardous conditions. Attorney Paul Taylor of Truckers' Justice Center answers 3 common questions about this sensitive area. First question: do I have the right to refuse to drive in bad weather? Under the Surface Transportation Assistance Act, you're protected from being fired if you refuse to operate a commercial vehicle when it would be unsafe to drive. This does not mean that you have the right to refuse a load just because snow is forecast or because you think the weather could turn bad. Conditions must be bad enough at the time you refuse. This could be at the start of the haul or at some point along your route. Determining whether driving conditions are unsafe is somewhat subjective, unlike measuring tire tread with a gauge. Are you driving in the mountains or over a steep grade? Have you observed other vehicles having difficulty with traction and control? What are other drivers saying about the road conditions ahead? What kind of freight are you hauling? How is the weight distributed? You must consider all such factors before making a judgment call. Question 2. How do I go about refusing to drive in bad weather? Once it's clear that road conditions are too hazardous for driving, it's your responsibility to tell your dispatcher or other supervisor why you're refusing to drive. Usually, the best way to do this is in writing, since it creates a record. This could be done via Qualcomm, email, or text. The message should clearly state that you're refusing to drive because bad weather is creating unsafe road conditions. Be sure to provide details. Heavy snow could be impairing visibility. Perhaps you heard a forecast predicting imminent freezing rain or advising against any driving. Question 3. What type of documentation do I need to protect myself? If you think you might be fired for refusing to drive, or for that matter, refusing to violate any safety regulation, keep records. In a hazardous weather case, obtain weather reports and forecasts from local news or the National Weather Service. If you have a smartphone, take screenshots or otherwise save messages documenting your refusal to drive and your reasons. Obtain names and contact information of other drivers who were facing the same adverse conditions. A claim under the Surface Transportation Assistance Act has a statute of limitations. This means you must file with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration within 180 days of being fired. An attorney can help determine whether you have a valid claim. Know your rights.